Thank you for joining Wars of the Rosies as we continue with Lesson 56, Barabbas or Jesus, of International, Esoteric, and Illuminated Bible Lessons by R. Swinburne Clymer. International, Illuminated Bible Lessons prepared for the Sunday Schools of the Church of Divine Illumination. Matthew, 26th chapter, verses 1st to 20th. Golden text. Whom will ye that I release unto you, Barabbas or Jesus, which is called Christ? Barabbas was a robber, a thief. Jesus was a giver of life and truth. The multitude rejected Jesus and preferred Barabbas, and is still doing the same thing today. Verse 8, we read that, when Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders. Judas's greed, envy, and jealousy hid the truth from him. He did not realize until he saw there was no hope for the release of Jesus that he had brought to bondage and death the only person who could have saved him. He realized the rejection of the Christ, and not as a man of power. Then when the priests and elders mocked him, as evil always mocks when it is through with its victim, he saw that he had sold himself to a horde that despised him for his treachery and weakness. Evil is the same old betrayer. It does not stand by us after we have given ourselves into its hands, but always reminds us, what is that to me? See thou to that. Verse 6, and he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple, and departed, and went and hanged himself. He was murdered and destroyed of himself. Verse 11, and Jesus stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, saying, Art thou the King of the Jews? And Jesus said unto him, Thou sayest. Verse 12, and when he was accused of the chief priests and elders, he answered nothing. And this is one great power, that of being able to keep silent in the face of mockery and false accusations of persecution and ridicule. This one thing he held most sacred, and Pilate marveled. He was the governor and judge of all brought to him, and this was the first to come who acted and spoke in this manner. Verse 13, then said Pilate unto him, Hearest thou not how many things they witness against thee? Verse 14, and he answered, To never a word, insomuch that the governor marveled greatly. This was Jesus' greatest and supreme test, and he bore through it with the demeanor and fortitude of the Son of God. They were eagerly watching and hoping for one flaw, one sign of weakness, but were baffled. They used all their power, all their art, to provoke and sting him into retort, but he reviled not again. Verse 16, now at that feast the governor was wont to release unto the people a prisoner whom they would. Verse 17, and they had then a notable prisoner called Barabbas. Verse 17, therefore when they were gathered together, Pilate said unto them, Whom will ye that I release unto you, Barabbas or Jesus, which is called the Christ? Verse 18, for he knew that for envy they had delivered him. Pilate struggled from the beginning to release Jesus, for he believed in him. He knew he was the victim of envy and spite, but Pilate, as are many today, was outweighed by the accumulated forces of evil and materialism. Verse 19, and when he was sat down on the judgment seat, his wife sent unto him, saying, Have thou nothing to do with that just man, for I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him. She had seen Jesus as he was, recognized him as the Christ, and accepted him. This was a powerful message, and it influenced Pilate to do that which his own disciples forgot to do, with the exception of John, who made an effort to join him. John knew the governor personally and made an appeal to him for Christ's sake, but the flesh was to die, to be overcome, and all the intervention of man availed nothing. Jesus the flesh must die so that the spirit would live. the soul become a Christ, or the soul of Christ. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. And if you can, please consider donating to Wars of the Rosies. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.